US Secretary of State Marco Rubio has insisted that the new Ukraine peace proposal is indeed official US policy. He was denying claims by a group of senators who suggested that Rubio said the document under discussion is just a Russian wish list. Now, the dispute over the 28-point plan pushed by Donald Trump has proposals like ceding Ukrainian territory, and it even seeks to block Ukraine from NATO membership. The proposal threw an extraordinary element of confusion into efforts to negotiate an end after a storm of criticism that the proposal is entirely favorable to Moscow. Several US senators had publicly spoken about the peace plan. During a press conference, the senators, Republican Mike Rounds, Independent Angus King, and Democrat Jean Shaheen, they had said that Rubio told them the current Ukraine proposal is not the official US position, but instead lays out a Russian wish list. Marco Rubio, however, refuted the comments and said that the proposal for peace in Ukraine was authored by Washington. On social media, Rubio wrote that the plan is offered as a strong framework for ongoing negotiations, adding that it is based on input from the Russian side, as well as previous and ongoing input from Ukraine. The blueprint drawn up by the US sparked alarm in Kyiv and European capitals, with Zelensky saying his country could face a stark choice between standing up for its sovereign rights and reserving the American support it needs. EU Chief Ursula von der Leyen on Friday had promised to discuss the situation both with European and other leaders on the sidelines of the G20 summit. Now, in his remarks on the peace plan during the ongoing G20 summit, French President Macron backed the US proposal, adding that it was a good initiative, but said that both Ukrainian sovereignty and European security was at stake this time. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer also welcomed the US peace plan for Ukraine, but said more work was needed to ensure a just and lasting peace.
Well, the plan, the 28-point plan, has a number of important elements which are essential to a just and lasting peace, and that's what we all want. There is more to do on the plan, and we've had a meeting this afternoon of like-minded leaders from the Coalition of the Willing who are here at the G20 to engage on that.
Besides Starmer, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz also spoke on the issue and pointed out the meeting in Geneva. Merz said that more consultations were to take place in coming days. He added that peace can only be achieved with the unconditional consent of Ukraine.
There will now be further consultations. Foreign policy advisors from the Group of Three and other representatives of the European Union are now on their way to Geneva. There will be further consultations in Geneva tomorrow with representatives of the American government and with representatives from Ukraine. And I want to make it very clear in this context, an end to the war can only be achieved with the unconditional consent of Ukraine.
On the other hand, Russian President Vladimir Putin said the blueprint could lay the foundation for a final peace settlement, but threatened more land seizures if Ukraine walked away from the negotiations.